welcome. Today we are going to do a yoga flow, very short and sweet yoga flow for new beginnings. So I'm recording this on New Year's Eve 2020. So really thinking about today letting go of the stuff that's not serving us well, and 2020 has been an interesting year. I feel like there's a lot to let go of. And then also kind of priming ourselves to open up to new experiences, new opportunities. And I do want to share too that I am opening up a new business called Best Day Ever Yoga, and I will be doing offering different private yoga sessions, small group yoga sessions as well. And all of that information is at my website at www.bestdayeveryogafc.com. And so check that out if you have a chance, and see if we can connect and do some yoga together. For now, we are going to do this nice short and sweet flow, again to work on letting go of things and opening up to new experiences. So begin with, you're going to want a yoga blanket or a towel, works wonders. So we're going to fold it up. I've got mine folded, it's about maybe a little over an inch thick. And I'm going to have a seat on it. You don't have to, if you don't have a prop nearby and you're feeling lazy today to go get one out of the closet or whatever, just don't worry about it. But I'm going to set mine underneath my seat just to give myself just a little bit more propped up here. And then we'll go ahead and just start in Sukhasana Easy Pose. So you're just going to simply cross your legs and take your hands right on top of your thighs or your knees, wherever's comfortable. Just let them just be nice and relaxed so that my elbows are just kind of hanging from underneath my shoulders and my hands are supported by my legs. I'm going to close my eyes. And we're just going to, as we sit nice and tall, so you have a little bit of core engagement, but otherwise the body is relaxed. You let the shoulders soften a little bit more. Elbows hang just a little bit heavier. And then begin to soften the muscles in your face. Paying special attention to your jaw and relaxing there. And special attention right in the space between your eyebrows. Just sometimes I even just touch that spot to just cue my body to let go. Start to notice your breath. Just notice the expansiveness in the body, in the rib cage when you inhale. And then allow anything that's not serving you well to release with the exhale. And as you breathe here, you might just start to notice the length of the breath. Maybe try to find balance by counting to 3 or 4 or 5. Nothing extreme, just nice and not forced, but purposeful. And you're just aiming to have a balanced breath, balanced between the inhalation and the exhalation. So if you're counting to 4, you'll breathe in to 4 and breathe out for 4. Now, as you breathe in and out, can you bring a slight smile to your lips? Just the corners of your mouth just starting to turn a little bit more upward. Just bringing a sense of kindness as you allow anything that's not serving you to let go, to be released with the exhale. So you're offering yourself compassion and kindness as you let go. keep your eyes closed. Just start to draw your shoulders up toward your ears. And then back and down. Do that again. Getting a little bit of movement in the shoulders. And allowing yourself to release any tension. One more time. Breathe in to lift the shoulders up. And out to draw them back down. And go ahead and blink your eyes open. And we'll go ahead and do just a little bit of nice small movements here. So I'm not going to mirror you today, so I might look like I'm going the opposite direction. So listen to my cues here, and ultimately it doesn't matter if you go the wrong way first or a different way first. So we're going to take our right hand behind us and we're going to tent our fingers. I'm going to show you what that looks like on my mat. So I've got my fingertips down and my palm lifted instead of having my palm flat. My palm's lifted, fingertips are down. I'm going to take my hand behind me and then press the fingertips down into the mat to help lengthen myself up a little bit. And then I'll take my left hand over to my right knee and I'll lengthen up a little bit more as I take a nice easy twist over to the right. Continuing to use that back hand just for a little bit of support to help you draw the crown of your head a little bit taller as your sitting bones press down firmly into your mat. I'm going to do one more breath here. And then go ahead and soften and relax into the other side. So left hand comes behind now, tenting the hand, so fingertips down, palm up. Right hand comes to the outside of the left leg, and you're going to press down into your back hand, lengthening nice and tall. And I'm not cranking myself into this with this right hand. I'm not pulling a lot. Just kind of like a little bit of leverage. You can feel my abdomen engage to help support my spine through this twist. Now breathe. Just wring it out. Your breath probably will be a little bit more shallow because you're in a twist. See if you can get into some corners of the body. And let go of anything there. You might not even know what that is. That's okay. Just with kindness, allow yourself to release. One more breath. And then we'll soften back to center. All right, now from here, just a quick little back bend. So I'm going to take my hands behind me. I'm tenting my fingers again. And then I'm going to press down into my fingertips, lift my heart, and gaze up. Just feeling some opening through my chest, broadening through my collarbones. As I pull my shoulders back and down. One more breath here. And relax. All right, now let's try a side bend here. So we're going to take our right hand over off toward the side of our mat. And we're going to bend the elbow of the right arm as we reach our left arm up and over. So a couple options here. Think about how your neck is feeling. You might keep the gaze straight ahead, you might gaze up at the top hand, and you might gaze down. The top hand, you can just allow it to be heavy so that it kind of brings you more into that side bend. If that's too much, just press more into your right hand to lift up. You might even take the top hand and just support the head. You're going to feel that nice extension, that nice stretch on the left side of the body here. Pressing down through your left hip will help accentuate that as you allow the top part of your body to be just a little bit heavier. One more breath here. And let's press into the right hand to lift up and then relax back to center. Good, now going to the other side, left hand comes down off the side of the mat. And we're going to bend the left elbow, lift the right arm up and over, and then find where you'd like to have your gaze. Take a moment to check in there. It might be different on this side, maybe not. But be kind to yourself. This pose doesn't need to look a certain way. It's really about how it makes you feel. So I'm going to take my hand, I'm just going to gently support my head. So I'm not using my hand to pull my head up, I'm just giving it just a little bit of support so my neck doesn't have to have any tension held in it. And I'm just going to breathe here. Just noticing that nice release in the right side of the body as you breathe, and if you breathe into the right side of the body, you can accentuate that stretch just by using your breath intentionally and directing it to the side body. And one more breath here. And let's lift up, relax that arm down. All right, let's do shoulder rolls up and back. 2 more times, up and back. And last one, up and back. Excellent. All right, now take your hands behind you, lift your heart, just finding that nice, just subtle back bend. And this time, can you just engage a lot more through your abdomen, and you squeeze through your core. And using that strength in the belly to find support for the heart. One more breath. And relax down. All right, now from here, moving into Janu Shirshasana. So if you are on your blanket, you can stay on it. I'm going to move mine for this one. If you're not sure, maybe try it with the blanket and then release. And then we're going to take our right leg long, kind of at an angle. Our left foot is right at the inner thigh here. And from here, we're just going to turn our torso so that we can face our right foot right in line with, our gaze is right in line with the right toes. And your right toes are going to pull back, so you're activating that right foot. And from here, lift your arms up on the inhale, and as you exhale, reaching toward your foot. I say toward, so you're going to, maybe you're here, and maybe you're there. It doesn't really matter. It's about how you're feeling that stretch, not what it looks like. So find your way into what feels right for you, the kind of stretch that your body needs right now, and that might be different depending on how tight you feel right now. Might be different than yesterday or whenever you came to your mat last. Take another breath here. And we'll come right back up, and then we're going to go to the other side. So left leg is long now, right foot tucks into the inner thigh. Flex the left toes, gaze toward the foot, and then reach your arms up, breathe in. And exhale, breathe out, and reach toward that extended foot. And keeping maybe that smile on your lips. A slight, subtle smile. And as you kind of hang out in a stretch like this, you are allowing, I kind of think of it as layers, to just start to melt away. And maybe that's purely physical, maybe not. Maybe you feel it just as physical, but at the end, when you're done practicing and you focus on this letting go, even if it's in that physical sense, we do feel like we're shedding some other baggage, that emotional baggage that we're carrying around with us. So just feel the sensation. We'll take one more breath here. And then lift up. Good. Now we're going to go back into the first side. So extending the right leg again, but this time we're going to add in a little twist. So this time, right hand comes to the left knee, and then you're going to lift the left arm up and over, and oh, it feels so good. So you're just letting that arm, that top arm, just kind of hang in space. And with the grip from the right hand on the left knee, it's helping to support you here. And wow, does that get real deep into the left side of the body. So just take a moment to be with that feeling. Breathe into it more. And what I mean by that is you can keep the breath in the chest, right? You can keep it just hanging out in the chest, but maybe you breathe in to really feel the left side of the body expand more. And that will actually increase that intensity of the stretch a little bit more. Inhale, let's rise up, and then switch to the other side. So opposite leg, Right foot is tucked into the inner thigh. Now left hand comes to the right knee. Right arm reaches up and over and let it just kind of hang out in space. Very minimal effort, although there's a lot happening here. I feel this very intensely in my side body. And smile on the corners of the mouth. And one more nice big breath. Breathe into that side body. Ooh, let it go. And lift back up. Now from here, take your feet and bring the soles of the feet together and let your knees fall apart. Now, it's just a simple butterfly pose, just getting into the groin, the inner thighs. And I like to sometimes find movement here, so kind of flap my wings is what I like to think about. So knees kind of bounce up and down, just getting a little bit of movement, and then I'm going to settle in and let my knees be heavy. And I'll sit a little bit taller. I'm hanging onto my feet with my hands. I might stay right here, or I might start to fold forward with a flat back. I'm not going to go very far, and I'm going to feel that a little bit more intensely, the inner thighs. And maybe then I round my back and press my elbows into my legs to open my legs a little bit more. Very just subtle differences in the stretch, but definitely lots of sensation here for me today. And one more breath here. And let's lift up. Excellent. All right, now from here, you can stay kind of facing the direction you are. More than likely, you're kind of facing the long edge of your mat. If not, maybe move. I'm going to turn because it's a little bit easier for you to see what I'm doing here. I'm going to extend both legs first. And then I will, from here, let me think about what direction I want to go first. I'm going to take my right knee and bend it, and then place my right foot, crossing it over my left leg. So right foot is crossed over the left leg stays straight, flexing those left toes. Now tent your hand, your fingers. So fingertips are down, palm is up as you kind of squeeze in, and then from there lengthening up and finding a nice seated twist. So I'm trying to think, pressing down into each sitting bone as I lengthen up a little taller. And just the slightest. Noticing my gaze is just slightly up. I'm going to slightly tuck my chin. And what that's doing is just getting a little bit longer in the back of my neck. One more breath here. Okay, now listen carefully to this one. This isn't complicated, but if you overthink it, it might be. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a counter twist over to the left. So you're just going to twist the opposite direction. And then you're going to keep going. So I'm basically turning my body so now my hips are going to start to point down toward the mat and my right knee comes down onto the mat. And then from there, so left leg is straight, right knee's down on the mat, my right hand is right under my right shoulder. And then from here, I'm going to kickstand my right foot back, spin onto the side of my left foot, and find a side plank, a modified side plank. Left arm can be down at your side if you'd like, or you can lengthen up straight up, or maybe, my favorite, overhead. Now, this right shoulder, I can allow that to not be as stable there, so I'm going to draw it back so that my humerus is better placed into the socket on my scapula. So hold there for a moment as you press your right hand down into the mat. Oh, and feel that nice length all the way from the left foot up through the leg, side body, across the arm and off the fingertips. Now from here, we're just going to spin the left hand down as we walk our hands a little bit over to the left and bow down just a little bit here. I'm getting a little bit more into that inner thigh here. We warmed up a little bit in that butterfly pose, and now we're just kind of digging in here, right into the inner thighs where you're going to feel this on the left side. And then we'll walk our hands back up and step the foot in. Doesn't really matter how you come out of this. And have a seat back on your mat. Now I'm going to turn to face the other way. You don't need to do that. Again, that's just so that you can see me better. And so this time we'll do The same setup, so legs long to begin, and then step the left foot this time over the right leg. And then from there, we're going to take the left hand behind us, tent the hand, lengthen up, and then draw yourself over into that twist. And you got nice strength here happening in my core to help support this twist. I'm wringing out. I'm using this to physically wring out my body and to help to facilitate that process of release, letting go. Take that slight smile to the corners of your mouth and allowing whatever comes up as you let go to be observed with kindness. And let's just take one more breath. Now, I'm going to slowly start to spin over towards the right, just taking that counter twist, and then keep going, just turning the body all the way down so that the knee is now on the ground, and you're going to stack your left hand right underneath your left shoulder. And then from there, we're just going to kickstand that left foot out, so just turning that left foot back, and then the right foot is now on the mat fully, finding that modified side plank. Now let's start off by thinking about the shoulder this time. So we're going to hug it back and press down into the mat with the left hand. Well, the right arm can be on long at your side, or maybe you lift your arm up toward the ceiling, or maybe draw the hand overhead and allow that nice long line of energy to really feel it from the right foot all the way up the leg, through the right hip, and across the torso, down the arm and fingertips. Remember to breathe into that space. And one more breath. And we're just going to slowly take that right hand down, and then keep your legs exactly how they are, but walk yourself, your torso over to the right, and bow down just a little bit for a nice little stretch here on the right inner thigh. So you go down as low as you want to feel that little tug, that little stretch on your right inner thigh. Doesn't have to be much. Breathe into it. And we'll do just one more here. Walk ourselves back up, and then from there, let's just have a seat. And we're going to grab our blanket and just have it ready for us. I'm just going to actually just prep it for what I want to use it for Shavasana. I'm going to unfold mine, so I've got about this length here. So just maybe 3 feet length, doesn't really matter. And then I'm going to take it and I'm going to roll it up. I'm going to just get a nice tight roll. Just keep rolling until I get it all the way rolled up. And there's my roll. So I'm going to put that right to the side of my mat. And then from there, we're going to come down onto our backs. And while we're on our backs, we're just going to do one last twist. And for this one, I'm going to offer up eagle legs, which basically means you're going to lift your legs up first, and you're going to take your right leg to begin and just cross it over the left, and then maybe hook it underneath the left leg. And maybe not, and that's okay. So maybe you just cross it and you drop it down over to the left. So I'm hooking mine. I'm going to take my arms just because of my space that I have here, and I'm going to just bend my elbows. You can also extend your arms long. And I'm going to drop my knees over to the left. As I gaze over to the right. Feels so good. Now, my knees are hovering off the ground. They're not touching the ground. And I've got this roll next to me. I'm actually going to use it. I'm going to fold the roll in half and tuck it underneath my legs. And that's tuck it in because it allows you to relax a little bit more into it. So your gaze here can be straight up, or if you want that extra kind of twist, the cervical spine, you just take the gaze over to the right. Maybe bring a smile to your lips. And one more breath here. To come out, you're just going to take the gaze back up if it's to the right, and then just lift the knees up, unwind the legs. Because I used a prop, and I know I'll probably want it on the other side, I'm just going to place it there on my right side. And then I'm going to just hug my knees in just real quick, just to reset my low back. And then the left leg will come over, just crossing my legs. Maybe I keep them like that. Maybe I cross them more and hug the legs. And then I'll drop my knees over to the right. Arms either out in a T shape, or you can go post your arms. Just breathe here. And then again, your option is to allow the gaze to drift over to the left. How much can you soften here as you allow your body to let go, to release, to detox? Bringing out here with our legs and in this twist. Can you soften into that? Just one more breath here. And then to come out, I'm going to take my gaze back straight up. I'm going to release my legs, unwind, come back to center, and then hug in one last time, just drawing my knees in toward my chest. Maybe wrapping my arms around my shins, maybe even grabbing opposite elbow, but really hugging myself with kindness and compassion, and just thanking myself for allowing me to take the space, my body to come into a space where I can let go and release. And honoring all the things that I kept stored in my body. For me, I'm thinking about this year, but for you, really any time that you're watching this video, any time in your life where you need to let go of something, we all have things that we carry around with us that maybe don't serve us well, and give yourself permission to allow those things to just release with your exhalation. And then from here, in order to come into Shavasana, I'm going to use this prop that we've got prepared. So I'm going to actually sit myself up for a moment. Now, if you don't have your blanket with you, that's okay. I'll cue you through another option here to get a similar sensation. This is one of my favorite ways to experience Shavasana when I'm trying to feel a sense of openness through my body. And so I've got that roll, and I've got it positioned so that it's going to come right up to the base of my spine. And I'm going to just lay back on it. And then from there, I'm going to let my arms, my shoulders drape down toward my mat, my palms up, and my toes are just kind of falling off to the sides. If you don't have a blanket today, you can try and just kind of shimmy your shoulders a little bit more underneath you so that it just props your heart up. And then find yourself softening down into the mat there. And let's end this practice by resting here in Shavasana with a smile on our face. The physical act of smiling actually makes you feel happier. And so we do it not to be corny, but to help ourselves feel our best selves, to have our best day. sake of this video today, I'm going to pull us out of Shavasana, but if you have the time, please feel free to remain here for another 5 or 10 minutes or however long you'd like. And when you're ready to come out, you'll just slowly just bend the knees, planting the feet down, bringing the arm up so that you can just roll off that towel or blanket and rest your head right on your arm for just a moment before pressing yourself up, finding a comfortable seated position. I'm just taking a moment there just to notice, observe the body, how you're feeling now, how the breath is flowing through you. Thank you all for practicing with me. It's truly an honor to be able to guide you through your practice. Thank you for trusting me to do that. As I mentioned at the beginning of our practice today, would love to have you check out my new business where I'm offering some online workshops and also some virtual and in person if you're in the area. Some virtual and in-person small group and individual private yoga sessions. For now, please like and subscribe my channel, and I will see you soon. Namaste.